Hey you guys, this is Sharzad here. I wanted to make another video telling you why dating apps are so frustrating for both sexes, why men say they can't meet a woman on a dating app, and why I as a woman have also had difficulty meeting men on dating apps, and why I as a woman find them annoying, why everyone finds them so annoying. And I'm going to tell you why. And I read all the comments you left on my last video about dating apps, so I appreciate that very much. But I'm still going to say that I think the dating apps, the initial ones, were designed by men. And hear me out. I know that some women also were involved in Tinder and a woman was involved on Bumble, so just hear me out. I'll get to that. I think that initially the dating app was designed by men, kind of like Mark Zuckerberg designed Facebook, and it's all revolving around pictures. Let's share pictures, because why are most of the people on the dating apps men? Let's ask about that. And why do the men have to pay? Because they're after your money. They do not give a shit if you meet anyone or not, because they're in the business of making money. They want your money. And what gets men on dating apps? Let's go and look at pictures of pretty women that I could meet. Let me see pretty women I could have. It's the PG version of porn, okay? Because men are visual and they want to see pretty girls. Now, I heard your comments. Okay, I'm going to get to your comments. Some of you said, but Bumble and Tinder were made by women. Okay. So I am going to say those women were also interested more in the money. Just like when a lot of women were like, we do not like this porn, these female directors came out and said, well, we're going to make porn for women. But they really didn't. It was just the same stuff, maybe slightly different, nuanced. And that's why to this date, few women watch porn. The majority of porn, well over 90%, is consumed by men. What do women read? Romance novels. So we'll get to that in a minute. The other part I said about the dating apps was that, oh gosh, I forgot just a sec. Oh yes. See, I have a hard time free talking and staying on a certain order because I kind of go in a tangent. So the other comment you guys made is women are just as focused on looks. And yes, we are. And this is precisely why women stop fucking their husbands. Okay, if you lose your attractiveness, we don't desire you. Okay, we'll give you pity sex, we'll give you starfish sex, we'll feel sorry for you, or we'll say no, but we don't desire you anymore. We are very visual, but we're more than visual. So for a woman can see a guy who's a 7 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 and desire him because his personality makes him from a 6 into a 10. Okay, you got to understand this about women. So that's why a lot of men do better in real life. Like a short Asian is not going to do well on a dating app. But in real life, these guys have women. I'm going to point to Healthy Gamer GG as an example. And don't tell me that he only got his wife because he was a doctor. Because for the first few years he was a doctor, he struck out with women. Okay, he had to do the inner work first. But the other thing about attraction that women have is women are very varied in their attraction, because the kind of guy I do like tall, lean guys. That's one of my types. Most women I know don't want that kind of guy. I like guys with long faces. A lot of women like a round face. I love guys who wear a suit and a tie. I know women who don't like that at all. I have a friend, like her thing was a guy with a goatee. I have another friend who was really into like laborers. Like, I know someone who's very happily married to an Asian guy. I know another woman who was dating an Asian guy, and I said, are you attracted to him? She's like, yes, he's so hot. So there is no generic attractiveness for a woman. We have different tastes, just like you men have different tastes. Some men think I'm hot. Some men think I'm super ugly. Okay? So we all have different tastes. So, but for a woman, the actual physical attractiveness, which is important, I want you to remember it's different for different women. Like, I love beards. Some women hate beards. It's an instant turnoff. I love men with hairy chests. Oh my God, it drives me crazy. And some women love gamers. I know a woman who got married to a gamer. They met on a gaming site, you know, and they made a friendship that way. Like the guy Destiny on YouTube, he's also a gamer. He met women, I think, that way. To me, Destiny, I find him interesting, but I don't find him attractive. Okay? So that's what you need to know about attraction. But if you're ugly, like if you're fat and you don't have good hygiene and you're out of shape and you're not strong, that is a turnoff. So when it comes to women desiring attractiveness, we do better meeting men in real life because your personality is going to fill in just for the visual. And I think that's because women generally look at guys in a more diffuse, broad way. Like, is this a guy, like a relationship type of guy? That's our evolution kicking in. Whereas men will just think, do I want to fuck this girl? But if you guys are looking for a relationship, you guys are also going to be a lot more picky. Okay, so that was my first point. To summarize my first point, dating apps were originally designed by men. Some women came along and tweaked it, but it was all about the money. And it was all male-centered, visual, okay? Thinking, even though women are visual, and not the same way as you guys are, so the picture isn't enough. And the idea was to make money, okay? So it's the men going, let me just swipe and find some pretty girls. Now, women go on these apps, but what are women looking for? Women are looking for an attractive guy, but they also want him to be safe, strong, a protector, a provider, and stable, okay? So, that's where ideally, if there was a dating app where the only thing men could enter was a photo of themselves setting up a video of themselves setting up a campsite, or a video of themselves having an interaction or disagreement about politics. I want to see how you handle that with someone, or washing a puppy, or working in their garden, or a picture of them at work, or interacting with their friends, or something, you know. I would like to see a video of a guy standing in line for 3 minutes to see if he's fidgety or if he's calm. Like, but if I don't have any of that, if all I have to go on are the photos because that's all they're giving me, and his height, I'm automatically going to look for the tallest, the strongest, because you're limiting all of the hundreds or thousands of inputs that I get from you, seeing you and talking with you. You're collapsing it into like 6 superficial things. How you look and your height and your money. So I'm forced to select based on those things. And I'm not allowed to feel your energy, to hear your passion, your voice, to know what inspires you, to see what you're excited about, to see how you walk and carry yourself. So it forces women to pick men not on how well they can actually protect and provide, but how we think you can, if that makes sense. It's almost like you having to pick a wife by flipping through a Victoria's Secret catalog. You're going to look at these women and try to decide who's going to be the best mom. So you can't pick the skinniest one because she doesn't have any fertility. It's kind of like that, like you're very limited. Hope that makes sense. The other problem is that men are higher on sociosexuality. They are more likely to want to fuck. And a man who's horny, he might want that redhead with the nice curvy breasts. But hey, he'll take the old white woman like me in a pinch. Okay, I'm making fun of myself. Whereas a woman isn't going to do that. She's not going to be like, oh, I really like this provider type, but I'm super horny, so I'm going to pick this unemployed fat slob. Women are not going to do that. So a lot of men are on there picking women just based on their looks. When I've been on dating apps, I get requests from guys hundreds of miles away sending me likes. But I don't send likes to guys that are more than 20 miles from me. I don't even send likes. I send a message or something. I don't know. Sometimes I send a like. But I only want to meet someone within 20 miles. I'm not desperate. Like, if I want to date someone, but these guys don't care. They're just carelessly throwing out things to the wind, which makes me disrespect them. Like, you have no self-respect or options in Los Angeles? You know, guys from Los Angeles will message me, or even other states. We'll get into the scammers. So a man is not as picky on there. But here's a big problem. I want to get to this as a bigger problem. Is that women also want a man who is vetted. And before we had dating apps, you were vetted because I saw you at school every day. I saw you at work. I met you at my friend's wedding. I met you at a party. I met you at the gym or church. I was introduced to you through friends. You were vetted. I've seen you around. A lot of people who are married even met in high school. They knew each other. The guy was vetted. I knew your family. I knew where you went to school and where you worked. You know, when I met my ex-husband, we were in organic chemistry together. And when we first met, he told me about how he'd been in the Army and how he had lived in Florida. And I'm like, man, this guy is masculine. He's lived on his own. He's going to school. He told me where he worked. On the first date, I saw his car and he worked on it. Like, he was super fucking vetted. But online, any scoundrel can be on there. These apps don't give a shit about what we as women want. The guys get on there, they don't even have to give an ID. When I was an escort, I had to submit a photo ID every year to the ad sites. These guys can get on the dating app, make up a name, make up a profile, and the only thing they need to be verified is do a photo of themselves to show that their pictures are real, that they're using their own pictures, but they can say anything. They could be married, they could live in another state, I'm not worried about being scammed because I'm not one of those women. I'm not like a prey for guys like that. But this is what I don't like. The men that get on there have put zero effort into this. They're lazy. They just sit on their ass. Okay, this is nothing against you guys, but I'm saying the app doesn't require anything of you. That's why guys don't want to go on eHarmony. You've got to fill out a bunch of shit. Okay, and matchmaking sites, you got to enter a bunch of stuff. You have to really want a relationship. These guys just want to look at pictures and get on an app and have easy swipes and have no effort women. And women don't like men who put in no effort. Okay, we want you to put in effort. This is not about you having money. This is about you putting in effort. And there is no effort put in to you to get on the app. There's no effort in most of the profiles, and there's no effort in sending a like. So it's the opposite of unvetted. So it doesn't feel enticing, it doesn't feel engaging, it doesn't feel inspiring, and it's annoying and as fuck. Okay, because these lazy ass men get on there. I mean, sure, there's some good ones too, I'm sure, but most of them, but they don't have to. But what I want to say is, even the good ones, I think that the men should have to put in some effort other than a couple dollars a month to be able to message women. There should be some effort on their part and some identification. They have to have some skin in the game and put in some effort to get on the app and to make a profile. There's no effort required. And that's how we get the con artists and the scammers and the married guys And I've met a lot of guys on there that didn't even want to meet. They just want to text or chat. Not sexual, just someone to give them attention. So I do not think that the apps do screening. And why don't they do screening? Why don't they vet you? Because if they actually make men make a real profile, have some skin in the game, spend a couple days thinking about how to present themselves and make some good writing or speaking or videos, hardly any men would sign up. It's too much fucking work. Because the men that put in the work, they're out there meeting women in real life. Because I work with men, and the guys I meet that get women, they're not on dating apps, okay? They don't have to be. So the dating apps give men a false sense of, this is where I can get a woman. But you can't. Because women with standards and values, real women, they want a man who's vetted. And you're not vetted on there. Okay, that's where you're striking out. And a woman wants a man she can admire and respect. Okay, so if you're like a short Asian guy, I would make a video of yourself playing an instrument or building a campfire or washing your dog or working in your garden or something that you're good at. We want to see you. We get excited by seeing you passionate about something, working on something, really engaged in something. And the apps don't do that. So that's why you're not meeting anyone. Okay? All right, so another thing I think is that I recently talked to a friend of mine, and she was chatting with this guy online. And it was like a Jewish dating app, and she was Jewish, and she wanted to meet a Jewish man. And things were going well. They had a couple video calls, a couple phone calls. And she was really looking forward to the first date they were going to have. And like, she's kind of sexually conservative. She's not like me. Not all my friends are. And then one day a couple days before they were supposed to have the date, he sprung this, why don't you come over and watch Netflix and chill with me thing. And she was so disappointed. So I said, did you report this guy to the app? And she said, no, because we were having this discussion offline. But that's the kind of disappointment that women get. I thought you were interested in me. I thought we were going to have a date. We never talked about sex. And now you're asking me to come over and cuddle with you. We actually used the word cuddle or snuggle, something like that. Total douchebag. Okay? Women don't like that. Also, the dating apps, in which some of them now do, should have a video call option so that you can kind of talk to someone before you meet them. That one was interesting for me because I had a guy once doing the video call laying in his bed. I mean, he was dressed, but he was laying in his bed. And one of my friends, she actually knew who this guy was because she was also on Match.com. I think that's where it was. And she goes, the reason he was laying in bed like that is because that's where he wants you. Like, you know, why are people even on there? They're not on there to date. But anyway, what would work for a woman is a dating app designed on results, not where they're trying to get money. I think the women and the men should both pay. And I think that the man should be able to highlight his skills so that he can show the woman that he is stable, that he's strong, that he's assertive, that he's confident, and that he doesn't melt down. That's why I want to see, how are you doing in a debate? Can you chop some wood? Can you build a campfire? Can you change a tire? Or maybe you're just really good at poetry or at the piano or at the cello or at your research. Let me hear you give a talk at a board conference on your research. Like, I want to see you excel rather than in the static pictures, because static pictures are designed to appeal to men. Because men are not that picky when they're just trying to fuck. But if you as a man were looking for a wife, seriously, how many of you would be on a dating app? Because you can't tell that much about the woman from her pictures. Okay? If you were looking for a relationship, because most women want a relationship, they're not looking for a hookup, what would you want in a dating app? Maybe you'd want to see her doing some housework or some cooking. You'd want to see her at work or with her friends. You know, how does she interact with other people? Is she agreeable or is she bitchy? What happens if people challenge her? Is she going to have a meltdown? Maybe you want to hear her sing or dance for you. I don't know, like in a dress, of course. I think that since women like romance novels, I think that even a man who doesn't want to write, at least he can talk, because relationships are going to involve talking. Can you talk to someone? Can you have a conversation? What's your vocabulary like? What's your voice like? All that stuff. And that would come alive more in having some videos. But they're not going to require videos, because that's going to require effort, and a lot of guys don't want to put the effort in, because let's face it, most of the people on the dating apps are scammers, con artists, and lazy men. The number of you guys who are actually intentional and want to meet someone is very small. It's very small. And your manliness and your personality is not going to come through to a woman in pictures. It's just not. So unless you look, and to a woman, these things are like a fucking catalog, okay? I have catalogs. We all get catalogs. Nordstrom or whatever company, Aritzia, whatever clothing company we look, and we pick the prettiest one. So to me, a dating app is just a catalog where I pick the prettiest one and then hope this guy turns out to be nice. So it's a completely distorted marketplace. That's what I'm going to call this. Dating apps are a distorted marketplace designed to steal your money. And if the guy is a douchebag on there, I can't even complain. This is why I get annoyed on there. It's like, okay, I'm on there and a guy's sending me likes. I'm like, okay, you're not vetted. You haven't shown any interest in me. You haven't wooed me. You're just disrespectfully scattering your energy to likes. You're just swiping on every woman sending likes. There's no intention, so it doesn't touch me. I just get annoyed. Like, get this pest off of me. But guys are saying that we should be lucky to get likes. Then you don't understand us. Don't understand us at all. Today I went in the gas station. I had a free car wash, so I went in there and I noticed this guy, and he was getting a soft drink, or I don't know, something. And he was like my age, and I noticed him, and he's not usually my type. He's like tall and kind of husky, but I could just, the way he stood there, I could feel all this masculine energy, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy is so hot. And he got behind me in line, and I was like so aware of him standing behind me. And when I was done, I turned around and I looked up at him, and he was smiling at me. And I smiled back at him. And I've thought about that all day long. Now, that guy made my day and made me happy, and I still feel happy about it. I still feel so happy about it. And that was a real interaction. But a guy sending me likes on a dating app is just annoying. And if you don't get that, you don't understand women. Because the guy who stood behind me, I felt his presence. I need to feel that. I need to see. And then he smiled at me. It was so nice. It was, oh my God. Yeah, he had like a very good energy, very friendly. And that's what I need to see. And he was focused on me. He smiled at me. Whereas the guy swiping on every woman is like, and you're 90 miles away. Like, it's just a turnoff. I don't know how to explain it any better. So, but the dating apps don't care. These guys all have hopes. And am I going to drive 2 hours to meet a guy for dinner in LA? I don't think so. And by the way, not all women want the football player. I would never want to date a professional athlete or a really rich guy, because well, guess what? They are usually, like, they have women throwing themselves at them. They're super conceited. They're cheaters, usually, yes. And keeping up that facade, keeping up your looks and your game for these guys that have women throw themselves at them, I don't want to compete at that level, okay? I just want a nice, chill guy. So don't say that all women want the rich athlete. I don't. I'll fuck them, you know, if they make an appointment. But other than that, I don't want them, okay? It's just way too much superficiality. I mean, I'm a little bit superficial, but I don't want to be that superficial to have to like constantly be like at my best looks to compete with all these other women. No, I don't want that. So, also, I don't like men who work for someone else. I like entrepreneurs, but some people prefer a man who works for someone. Like, don't say that all women want the same thing, and don't say all women are gold diggers, because I know a whole bunch of people who got married this year. None of these men are rich. They're just average guys, and I wouldn't want to fuck them. You know? They're not my type. But these women are so in love with these guys. Genuinely in love with these guys. Okay? It's not for their money. It's not because they couldn't get the guy they really wanted. That's the guy they really wanted. And they're like, oh my God, I'm so lucky I'm married to this guy. Like, I'm just so grateful. So I've been to a few weddings this year. And my kids are kind of marrying age, so I know some of their friends who got married and some of their friends who got divorced. And for women getting divorced, like, we don't want to get divorced. We're the ones that are first people in like trying to fix our relationships. But the dating apps, I'm a really big believer in just like the guy who smiled at me. Okay, he took a risk, and I took a risk, because when I turned around, I could have just walked out, but I didn't. I looked up at him and I smiled at him. So taking an emotional risk is super good. Taking an emotional risk, getting out in public and getting in public spaces, I think is a much better way. And women are going to respond more to a man in real life. We are going to respond more to a man in real life, because we are designed to be not just visual, but to take in a whole bunch of stuff. We need to, and like we do it subconsciously in microseconds. We take in like thousands of pieces of data about you, even your smell, how you dress, how you walk. I can tell instantly how a guy walks if it's someone I want to talk to, just from how his body, just from his body. Is he healthy? Does he take care of himself? Is he confident? Is he stable? Is he emotionally, is he rigid? Or is he angry? I can tell all that within microseconds if I see you in real life. But in a photo, it's really hard to tell. So then you just kind of go for the pretty guy because you got nothing else to go on. Dating apps are, I forgot what I said, but they're just out to get your money. They're not out there to help you. So I want to know what you guys think about this. And I need to make some videos for my membership channel. I'm going to make some videos on some of my experiences from when I was a, you know what, I'm going to make some bookkeeping videos. They're going to, again, and they're going to go in the membership area. So if you want to be a member, there are two places you can find how to join. One, if you once you hit subscribe, on the left side of the subscribe button under each video, there's a tiny little icon called join. That's where you can join. I know it's hard to find. Or if you go to my main YouTube page, on the top you'll see home, videos, shorts, live, playlist, community, and membership. Membership is one of the tabs. But the lighting is super light, so you just have to go for it and you hit membership. And I'm going to be getting rid of the level 1 membership, so don't sign up for that. It'll just be 2 and 3. Anyway, thank you for watching my video. Alright, and just so you guys don't say, I'm out to get the men. A lot of women on these apps are scoundrels, scammers, and losers. There are a lot of catfishing going on, which is really men in other countries pretending to be a woman. I've once had somebody catfish using my photos. Believe it or not, my photos. I'm not really that hot. And a lot of women are on there just trying to get attention. That's all they want. They're never going to meet you. Women are not really designed for, let's go meet a stranger. Women are very reluctant to meet someone, even in public, you know. So the only women that really come over and meet you right away are like these very low boundary, hypersexual women who'll come over and fuck you on the first date. That's pretty much it. That's the kind of quality. And to get that type of woman, you have to have really good photos and be able to kind of pull them based on your like physical attractiveness, because they're very superficial and they don't have a lot of boundaries or standards. A lot of losers on there. A lot of women are not going to meet you, and most of the people on the dating apps are men. They don't require anything of the women either. They can just put up a photo, put up a bunch of photos. They don't have to give their ID, and most women don't even have to spend any money to get on the apps. And because men are very visual, women get swiped on. Swiped on for what? Swiped on to be fucked. But the number of women who are actually down to fuck a stranger is also very small. So again, the number of men on there who want a relationship and who are actually intentional is very small. And the number of women who are actually on there to fuck, which is what a lot of the guys want, is also very small. So that's why everybody's striking out. And the number of people actually willing to meet, put on some clothes, go on a date, is very small. And when they tell you the stats of how many relationships were formed on dating apps, I really suspect that they're including, this is my own opinion, I don't know, Facebook and Instagram as dating apps, because that's where a lot of people meet. That's where a lot of people meet, is on Instagram and Facebook. In fact, this divorce lawyer, and I'm going to be doing some stuff out of his book soon, talks about how Facebook is responsible for so many marriages breaking up, because people see they look up their old friend or their old boyfriend, and they find him and they start doing likes and they start messaging, and these affairs start. So that would be a dating app. In fact, Facebook, don't they have a thing called Hinge, which is based off there anyway? So I think if you consider social media as a dating app as well, if you make the term dating app mean any app where people meet to date, I would include TikTok, LinkedIn, Hinge, I would include all of them. And I would think that more people meet up to date on those apps than on actual dating apps. This is my opinion, because they never release all their data. It's all a big secret. But the key takeaway is this. The purpose of the dating apps is not to look out for your best interests. They're not a therapist. They're not a lawyer. They have no interest in you. They're a business just trying to take your money. And they don't give a shit if they break your heart, if you get scammed, if you get ghosted. They don't give a shit. They just want to make money. That's what you got to know. Okay? And the marketplace they set up is not really a good marketplace for meeting people who want a relationship. At all. That's why people are disenchanted with them. Okay, that's why people are disenchanted with them, including me. So it's a bad setup. It's a bad setup all the way around. So that's it. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.